Hi, I'm Akanksha and this is day 10 of doing things that I've been doing. और कल से खलील गबरान के बारे में पढ़ना शुरू किया था. We learned about him and this is my cat. आज बहुत लेट हो गया बिकॉज आई वॉज मेकिंग अ टेस्ट पेपर. सबसे बोरिंग काम और सबसे ख़राब काम लगता है मुझे टेस्ट पेपर्स बनाना. बट आई वॉज डन विद इट एंड आई डिसाइडेड टू डू इट रेगुलरली. तो अभी तो इतना बर्डन नहीं है कि ना करूँ मैं. So yeah, I'll just put it over here so that you can see both me and my katu. And we'll read the first chapter. Okay, so we are reading the novel The Prophet. And the first is the coming of the ship. Al-Mustafa, the chosen and the beloved, who was a dawn unto his own day, had waited 12 years in the city of Orphalus for his ship that was to return and bear him back to the isle of his birth. And in the 12th year, on the 7th day of Elul, the month of reaping, he climbed the hill without the city walls and looked seaward, and he beheld his ship coming with a mist. Then the gates of his heart were flung open, and his joy flew far over the sea. And he closed his eyes and prayed in the silences of his soul. But as he descended the hill, a sadness came upon him, and he thought in his heart, how shall I go in peace and without sorrow? Nay, not without a wound in the spirit shall I leave this city. Long were the days of pain I have spent within its walls, and long were the nights of aloneness. And who can depart from his pain and his aloneness without regret? Too many fragments of the spirit have I scattered in these streets, and too many are the children of my longing that walk naked among these hills. Yeah. So I'll continue reading. Too many fragments of the spirit have I scattered in these streets, and too many are the children of my longing that walk naked among these hills. And I cannot withdraw from them without a burden and an ache. It is not a garment I cast off this day, but a skin that I tear with my own hands. Nor is it a thought I leave behind me, but a heart made sweet with hunger and with thirst. I think I need water because that's taking too much. Or let me take a moment. I don't think it's going. Yeah, let me just get water and then we'll start again. This side is the kitchen. मटका. मुझे बहुत टाइम से मटका चाहिए and finally I have my own मटका and I'm very happy about it. Oh my goodness, बहुत प्यास लगी थी. Ready to go back? Yeah. Nor is it a thought I leave behind me, but a heart made sweet with hunger and with thirst. Yet I cannot tarry longer. The sea that calls all things unto her calls me, and I must embark. For to stay, though the hours burn in the night, is to freeze and crystallize and be bound in a mold. Fain would I take with me all that is here, but how shall I? A voice cannot carry the tongue and the lips that gave it wings. Alone must it seek the ether. And alone and without his nest shall the eagle fly across the sun. Now when he reached the foot of the hill, he turned again towards the sea, and he saw his ship approaching the harbour, and upon her prow there were mariners and the men of his own land. And his soul cried out to them, and he said, Sons of my ancient mother, you riders of the tides, how often have you sailed in my dreams, and now you come in my awakening, which is my deeper dream. Ready am I to go, and my eagerness with sails full set awaits the wind. Only another breath will I breathe in the still air, only another loving look cast backward. And then I shall stand among you, a seafarer among seafarers, and you, vast sea, sleeping mother, who alone are peace and freedom to the river and the stream. Only another winding will the stream make, only another murmur in this glade. And then I shall come to you, a boundless drop to a boundless ocean. And as he walked, he saw from afar men and women leaving their fields and their vineyards and hastening towards the city gates. And he heard their voices calling his name and shouting from field to field, telling one another of the coming of his ship. And he said to himself, Shall the day of parting be the day of gathering? And shall it be said that my eve was in truth my dawn? I am just reading it again so that it makes sense. Anyways, we'll move forward. And what shall I give unto him who has left his love in mid furrow, or to him who has stopped the wheel of his winepress? Shall my heart become a tree heavy laden with fruit that I may gather and give unto them? And shall my desires flow like a fountain that I may fill their cups? Am I a harp that the hand of the mighty may touch me, or a flute that his breath may pass through me? A seeker of silences am I, and what treasure have I found in silences that I may dispense with confidence? If this is my day of harvest, in what fields have I sowed the seed, and in what unremembered seasons? If this indeed be the hour in which I lift up my lantern, it is not my flame that shall burn therein. Empty and dark shall I raise my lantern, and the guardian of the night shall fill it with oil, and he shall light it also. These things he said in words, but much in his heart remained unsaid, for he himself could not speak his deeper secret. And when he entered into the city, all the people came to meet him, and they were crying out to him as with one voice. And the elders of the city stood forth and said, Go not yet away from us. A noontide have you been in our twilight, and your youth has given us dreams to dream. No stranger are you among us, nor a guest, but our son and our dearly beloved. Suffer not yet our eyes to hunger for your face. And the priests and the priestesses said unto him, Let not the waves of the sea separate us now, and the years you have spent in our midst become a memory. You have walked among us a spirit, and your shadow has been a light upon our faces. Much have we loved you, but speechless was our love, and with wails has it been wailed. Yet now it cries aloud unto you, and would stand revealed before you. And ever has it been that love knows not its own depth until the hour of separation. And others came also and entreated him, but he answered them not. He only bent his head, and those who stood near saw his tears falling upon his breast. And he and the people proceeded toward the great square before the temple. And there came out of sanctuary a woman whose name was Almitra, and she was a seeress. And he looked upon her with exceeding tenderness, for it was she who had first sought and believed in him when he had been but a day in their city. And she hailed him, saying, Prophet of God, in quest of the uttermost, long have you searched the distances for your ship. and now your ship has come, and you must needs go. Deep is your longing for the land of your memories and the dwelling place of your greater desires. And our love would not bind you, nor our needs hold you. Yet this we ask ere you leave us, that you speak to us and give us of your truth. And we will give it unto our children, and they unto their children, and it shall not perish. In your aloneness you have watched with our days, and in your wakefulness you have listened to the weeping and the laughter of our sleep. Now therefore disclose us to ourselves, and tell us all that has been shown you of that which is between birth and death. And he answered, People of Orpheus, of what can I speak save of that which is even now moving within your souls? So that was it. I don't understand much of it, but I think Al Mustafa, he waited 12 years in a city of Orpheus for his ship to return so that he can go back to the isle of his birth. And in the 12th year, on the 7th day of Elul, the month of reaping, he climbed the hill without city walls and looked at the sea, and he could see that his ship was coming with a mist. Then the gates of his heart were flung open, and his joy flew far over the sea. And he prayed in the silences of his soul. But as he descended the hill, as he came back, a sadness came upon him, and he thought, How shall I go in peace and without sorrow? Not without a wound in the spirit shall I leave this city. There should be a wound in my spirit before I leave this city. Long were the days of pain I have spent within its walls, and long were the nights of aloneness. But who can depart from his aloneness and his pain without regret? So he has been in the city for 12 years, and there were several days where the nights were long, and he was alone and he was in pain. I cannot withdraw from them without a burden and ache. So I cannot withdraw from the city without burden and ache. It's not a garment that I can cast off. It's a skin that I have to tear with my own hands. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. It's not a garment that you can take off. It's a skin that you have to tear off. It's not a thought that he's leaving behind. It's a heart made sweet with hunger and with thirst. And yet he cannot tarry here longer. He has to go because the sea is calling him, and he must go back to his home. That is all. When he reached the foot of the hill, he again turned towards the sea. He was thinking so many things. And he could see the men of his own land. And he told them, How often you have come in my dreams, and now you are coming in my awakening. I am ready to go. And then he's saying several other things. And then when he's walking, he saw men and women leaving their fields and coming towards the city gates. The people who live in the city where he's residing, Orpheus, men and women from that city, came to see him off. And he's saying lots of things again. And they all were crying out to him with one voice, Go not yet away from us. They're asking not to leave. They want him to stay there. They want him to stay there for a little longer. You're not a stranger. You're not a guest. You're our son, and we love you. We do not want the waves of the sea to separate us now. And we do not want the years you have spent here to become a memory. We all love you. Others also came and entreated him. He went back to a sanctuary where there was a woman named Zalmitra. He looked at her with exceeding tenderness because she was the first one who believed in him when he had been but a day in the city. On his first day, she was the first one to believe him. She hailed him saying, You have searched the distances of your ship for a very long time, and now your ship has come, you need to go. You have a deep longing for your birthplace, the land of your memories, and the dwelling place of your greater desires. And our love would not bind and should not bind you to stay here. We do not want to hold you here. We ask you to leave us, but before leaving, you speak to us and give us of your truth. And we'll give it to our children and they to their children, and it will not perish. In your aloneness you have watched with our days, and in your wakefulness you have listened to the weeping and the laughter of our sleep. Now disclose us to ourselves and tell us that has been shown you of that which is between birth and death. So what have you seen which is between birth and death? And he answered, of what can I speak save of that which is even now moving within your souls? How can I speak of something which is still moving within your souls? So that was the first chapter. The second chapter I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, so that was it. I'm done for today. Bye-bye.